so everybody's aware, we will be recording this and it will be uploaded to YouTube and linked to Facebook. So we'll be able to view it and get the information out. We want to welcome you to tonight's candidate forum. It is hosted by the Zavala Prairie Community Connections organization. We are very glad to see members of our community come together to engage in the democratic process. This event is nonpartisan, it is not a debate, and it is designed to give our local voters a chance to hear directly from the individuals who want to serve and represent Zavala. Local elections matter deeply. They shape the schools our children attend, the roads we drive on, the safety of our neighborhoods, the growth of our community, and whether or not a town may survive. When we vote local, we vote for the future right outside our own front doors. We want to sincerely thank all of the candidates for taking time out of their busy schedules to be here with us tonight. All of the 9 candidates were invited to participate. Some had prior commitments and were unable to attend. Some had things that happened unexpectedly, but we appreciate their engagement with the process and we wish them well. Here's how tonight will work. There are 20 questions in this bowl. Each candidate will pull a question and have up to 2 minutes to respond. After the initial response, another candidate may choose to offer a 1-minute secondary response. It is not a debate, but they may have some information that they would like to share on that particular subject. Over the course of the evening, each candidate will get to draw 2 questions and will also be limited to 2 secondary responses. We look forward to a respectful, informative, and engaging discussion, and we thank you all for being here. So let's get started. We're going to start with Jamie West, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself and why she's running for school board, and then we'll follow it up with Jackson Coates. They each get 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm Jamie West. I've lived here in Zavala for the last 14 years. I am a member of the community. I am very active. I care about all the students in our school system. Both of my children attend school here. I have worked in education as a teacher for the last 8 years, in special education in particular for the last 2 years. I am particularly concerned with our academics and our overall school rating at this current time. I would like to help make sure that we can get high quality staff and teachers put into place for the following years. Okay, Mr. Coates?
Yeah, so very similar to what Jamie said. I'm a transplant here in Zavala. I moved here in 2012 after receiving custody of my son. I had some family in the area and I needed a little help. That's how I ended up here. But I've learned to kind of just love the place. I love the community. I love what it offers. We're close enough to the city, but yet we're a small country town, and it feels like home everywhere you go. So over the years, I've been able to develop a lot of relationships in town. I've always had aspirations of being on the school board, but for many years, I wasn't sure how to get that started. I wasn't sure, I didn't have the confidence, and I didn't feel that I was educated enough around school board and the policies and things that they do. But I took a leap last year, about 9 months ago. They had an opening and I was appointed. And in those 8 or 9 months, I've learned a lot. I've educated myself. I've been educated by my peers on the school board. And it all comes down for me, the passion that I have for kids. Some people have passion about fishing. Some people have passion about cars. My passion is the kids in this community. I have 3 children. 2 of them are enrolled in this community, in this school district. One's a senior, one's a first grader. I joined the board at a time that I had some frustrations. I think we've done a really good job over the last 8 or 9 months of coming together as a school board and holding more accountability. And I would like to continue that. I would like to serve this community, and I would appreciate your consideration when you go to vote.
Just so that those who are watching at home and those who are here, we do have 9 candidates, as we said before. They are actually going after 4 different seats. 3 of the seats, 7 candidates will be running for. 1 of the seats is specifically Jamie West and John David Renfro. So just keep that in mind, when they're answering these questions. Okay. So, Jamie, you pulled, so I'm gonna pull one and give it to me. All right. What in your background prepares you for this role, and what's your long-term vision for this district?
In my background, as I said before, I have been teaching for the last 8 years. Within that teaching, I've also had several roles in administration. Prior to moving to my most recent school district, I have served in the committee that worked with the IR status at our other school, the school I came from. And so I'm very familiar with the ins and outs and what's required of the teachers and administration.
Okay. Did you want to follow up? All right. We'll let you do your first question.
So how will you on the board address the different needs of all students? So I think this one goes back to education. I think that as a board member, we need to know what needs are out there. One of the things that at my beginning part of my tenure on the school board that was a little bit frustrating was we have an agenda that we speak to each month, and we're only allowed to talk about those things. We typically talk about the same subjects over and over and over again, and I think that we need to do a better job of reaching out to the community, whether it's sending out questionnaires, whether it be town halls. I'm a huge proponent of town halls. You open the doors, you let the community come in and let them tell you where we're broken. So, you know, I don't know everything that every child in this school district goes through. I don't know all of their struggles or, you know, what, you know, keeps them from being successful. But what I do know as a school board, we need to come together and not just focus on the athletics. We need to focus on all the children. We need to focus on all of the staff. Another thing that I'll add to that when it comes to the benefit of the kids, for so long now, we've been plugging holes within our school district. We're understaffed. We have a teacher shortage. And so a lot of times we have teachers that are doing their absolute best, but they're in a position or a role that they may not be as passionate or as educated about. So my goal, or I think the fix to it, the short-term fix, is to get the right people in the right place where they're passionate, and then they can help with those students. Our job as a school board to make sure that we mandate that.
Okay, awesome.
Can I?
Absolutely, you get 1 minute.
As Jackson stated, that getting the community involved, their town hall is an excellent idea. There's also Title I meetings that the school has, and parents are allowed to come attend that and voice their concerns and hear what's going on within the school district. Parents are also allowed to attend board meetings, yet I'm usually the only one that attends most of the time, and it's been that way for quite some time. Parents, I don't know if they're afraid or they just don't understand how the process works, but I feel like as a board, we need to make sure that they understand they have that ability and to foster the relationship between them and the teachers and them and the administrators.
All right, Jamie, you want to do your second question? All right, so your second question is, if selected to be on the board, what will you need from the community, parents, and staff to ensure that policies that you enact are necessary and effective?
Read it one more time.
Okay. If selected to be on the board, what will you need from the community, from parents, and staff to ensure that the policies are necessary and effective?
So communicating between parents, staff, employees, teachers, that needs to be a relationship that is built upon. So we need to make sure that they are willing, not afraid to collaborate with administration and encourage the community to step up, stand out, speak out, talk about the hard things, talk about what's going on in our community. Our community is 73% in poverty from the school statistics that we received. So there's a lot of things happening around here that we don't all see. And there could be policies that need to be made, which we don't even know what our problem is, just like Jackson stated before. So we need to make sure that we understand all the things that are happening and then encourage administration to develop policies around the things that are going on and how we can help fix them. Thank you.
I would like to.
Absolutely, you got 1 minute.
So to kind of, add to what she said, and I'm in complete agreement with Jamie. One of the things from my world, from my retail world, one of the things that we do, and I think we do a good job of it, is we conduct exit interviews. It's the same thing if I'm going to interview someone for employment or to hire them. Obviously you want to sit down and meet them, get to know them. But to me, the exit interview is just as important. And I don't think we do that at all. And if we do it, we don't do a very good job of it. But I think that the school board should mandate on exit interviews to all staff leaving the district. If we take the time to understand why teachers are leaving us, then maybe we can make adjustments to keep and retain some of that talent. Sometimes it's a better opportunity. They may go to a school district closer to their family or their home, or sometimes it's pay, but from my experience, it's very seldom just the pay. It is something they don't feel appreciated, they feel undervalued, and I just think that if we conduct those exit interviews, our superintendents, our administration, we sit down with them and we ask them, why are you leaving us? Then maybe we're able to stop it in the future. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, then, Mr. Jackson, you got 1 more.
What is your goal for attendance and engagement rates, and how will you track progress on truancy without just punishing kids? So I think this is multi-layers, and I don't think that 2 minutes is enough time to explain or give feedback on it, but I will say this. I do think that on the elementary campus, we've done a much better job. They've started some recognition and rewards programs. I have a 7-year-old, and she hates when she misses a day because she doesn't get ice cream or whatever it is on Friday. I do think that Mr. Varner and the staff over here has made some strides. Again, I think we have to seek to understand, why are kids not coming to school? First, we got to make sure that it's a fun place to be. Someone posted something on the what's happening in Zavala Facebook page recently, a couple of days ago, about a school and a superintendent and a coach walking down the hallways and high-fiving kids, and it just looked so unbelievable how much those kids enjoyed it. So I think that's where we start, is we make sure that the kids enjoy coming to school. The 2 campuses are 2 different things. The kids in the elementary campus, they rely on someone else to get them to school. When you get to the high school, it's really, most of the time, it's the child, it's not the parent. So we have to dissect those 2 problems and figure out, how do we affect each individually? Is it the parent or is it the child? And so I think a lot of questions, we have to seek to understand those things. You can reward and recognize and do all of those things, but you got to find out what the root cause is. Some kids have no problem coming to school. So what can we as a staff and administration do to make them want to come to school? And again, there's so many layers to that, but I do think that Zavala ISD is on the right track. I think that we have recognized that it's a problem, and I think we're making the steps to improve that problem.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
So part of coming to school is not just coming to school because you have to. As a board member, I would want to make sure that the community knows, which could be discussed during a Title I meeting, it could be discussed during a town hall, that our schools depend on ADA, average daily attendance. If children do not come to school, we do not get money. We cannot have high quality staff with small funds. It is very important that children come not only for the education, but so that we can continue to provide them with a high quality education. The other part is school culture. When they're focusing on the campus improvement plan, part of that discussion was school culture. So if a teacher is teaching in a position they don't like, they may not be happy. Oftentimes it's human for us to reflect that we are not happy. Kids pick up on that. So again, it goes back to making sure the right person is in the right place doing the right job, and that they are excited about that and they're bringing that excitement to school. Because if they're happy, oftentimes they're bringing happiness to the children, and that's what matters.
Thank you. Is there anybody in the audience that had a question or a subject that didn't get covered that you'd like to hear from the candidates? since we have extra time, do you guys want to take an additional question or no?
Take another one.
Okay. So we'll give each of you another question.
Unless it's a hard one.
Right?
You mind if I go first?
No, it's fine.
How familiar are you with the Texas Grow Your Own initiative, and how do you think it could address our district's teacher shortage? So I would say I'm fairly familiar with this. The Texas Grow Your Own plan is it's state funded. There are some state funds. The TEA, the Texas Education Agency, will actually give grants for this. But it's basically designed to start at the high school level. You start with the high school kids and you build excitement around teaching. And it's a long-term goal. It doesn't help any kind of short-term issues that we have. But the long-term goal of this is to get these high school kids that aren't sure what they want to do or where they're going to take their career path, to build some excitement around teaching. A lot of times those end up being your best teachers because they are so invested in the community already. Their family's here, they're raised here, they have love for the area. And so if you're able to do that and you're able to build a pipeline of teachers that are coming out of your high school, getting educated, and then giving back, it's a win-win for everyone. It's a win for that individual because they're getting to teach somewhere they love and they're going to be happy here. And we have a lot of that. If for any of you that know our teachers, we have quite a few that are born and raised here and they've spent years and years giving back to our community. And those are valuable resources. So I do think it's a great opportunity. I think it's an untapped resource. I think it's something that we probably, or I don't want to say probably, we have not taken advantage of. But I do think it's something as a school board that we need to look into and challenge our administration. Because it's a win-win for us, it's a win for the kids, it's a win for those teachers. So that's how I feel about it.
Did you want to talk
Yes.
to that one?
I will.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with the Grow Your Own program. As a special education teacher in San Augustine, I actually have 2 teachers that I am the mentor for that are directly underneath me that I help with their studies and getting their work completed and overseeing their lesson plans and how they're implementing their lesson plans with teaching the lesson. I can say that for a person to be willing to go through the Grow Your Own program, they are committed because it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work for them. Not only are they doing their job, their daily job, which is usually a 40-hour job plus more, because they are a teacher's assistant or working without a certification, and it's a lot of rigor. I mean, that's taking away from your home time. So for teachers to be willing to go through the Grow Your Own program, they are truly committed, and it's something that we should look into as a board.
Okay. And then you want to get your question?
No. It's a habit. I'm a teacher.
Okay. What role should the community play in supporting the education of our children? And what specific steps would you take to get parents and the community excited about volunteering and supporting school events beyond just the game nights?
So as a former president of the PTO, I can say that community involvement is very important, and we need to make sure that we are creating opportunities for the community to get involved. We have several events here that we do for the PTO that the community comes out, and it's usually related around the fall festival or pageants. I would like to see some more opportunities within the school where they can come out. I know that the PTO this year did do the Scholastic Book Fair, which is a huge hit and really important. But we need to make sure that there are opportunities for all students, not just sports. We need to make sure there's opportunities for our kids who receive special education, for our kids who are not taking the college path and are following a CTE path, which could get them to a career that does not necessarily require college. So we just need to make sure that we're providing the opportunities for everybody, every student in the district.
Just real quick, so I 100% agreement with everything Jamie said. This one goes back to the town halls for me. I think that we do a lot of things in this community that we seek community support. we don't always get the support that we're seeking. And I think a lot of that comes down to the communication piece of it. A lot of times when we have an event, I'll ask, people in the community, why weren't you there? And they had no knowledge of it. And so I think we need to find a better platform, a better media tool to get it to people, whether that be Facebook or social medias. Maybe we use the marquee outside, but even in sports, a lot of times we get notifications the day of the events. And we need to have these notifications and this communication, and this falls directly on the administration, and even the school board to an extent. But we need to get the word out there so people can plan around their daily lives to participate. I do think that there are a lot of really, really good parents in the school district that want to be involved. However, planning those events and communicating those events, I think we need drastic improvement. So.
Thank you. I don't know about y'all, but I think this was some very interesting questions and a great back and forth. I think we learned a lot about these two candidates. We will be posting this, like I said, and the other candidates are welcome to kind of chime in, maybe if with the comment section, if they want to have something heard that maybe they didn't see that was focused on tonight. I hope we start to see more events like that we're having here, town halls for our school, things to get the community involved in what's going on, because I can say from my perspective, I know our organization, we have the same issue, getting the word out when we're having something, and in addition to that, just having everybody open to come and help. I don't have children in the school, but if it was a welcoming environment, I would love to come and help with kids in school. So I think that people need to know that as well. So I'm really pleased with you guys coming out, and we look forward to having more events like this in the future. So give these guys a round of applause, and right, we appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much.